Alright, I've been at this forever, trying to beat this final boss. Did a whole bunch of recordings, had no idea what I was doing. I watched somebody play through it, that's the only way I figured it out. I don't think in the older versions of Doom they spawn as many enemies as being spawned in this level. So what I figured out is what you have to do is you have to get up here as quickly as possible. So you get up here, he's spawning enemies, and they always appear right here. It's best to take the enemies out. What you need to do is you get this thing moving. So this, oh shit, yeah, what are the chances? Oops, I didn't mean to pick that up. That's bad to pick up those things. This thing starts rising up. What you have to do once this thing starts rising up is you have to bring it down and you have to shoot through that tiny little hole. If he makes a grunting noise, that means you hit him. Most of the playthroughs I watch, the people just stay. It's best if you get rid of it. Now you have to start shooting like this. I did not make it through. There, see, I hit him once. Okay, so I hit him once, which means I come over here. We gotta wait for this. Go back down, you go back on it. Oh, that was the worst I've ever done. The worst part is, though, I cannot waste too many rockets. Otherwise, I'm screwed. So come over here, bring that down, go over here, get over here. This guy that I watched was cleaning up with different weapons. Doesn't matter which ones you use. Just try again. And then maybe I can get him again like that. Oh, I got him. Well, you know what? I've been a big baby before. You don't know how many playthroughs that took. Like, I know that final one just took me like 3 minutes to do. That took exactly 1 minute. You don't know how many playthroughs. I should have kept. I actually have one of them. It'll show my frustration. I cannot believe that. That was. I spent 20-30 minutes trying to figure that out on my own. And I knew I had to shoot through that hole. I just couldn't believe. I couldn't believe you had to ride that elevator up and try to take the shot. Because it doesn't auto-aim into that hole. So you have to get into that hole yourself. So you have to either jump off and shoot it, or you have to get in on the way up. And I had to do that so many times. Just it's been a mess. Like, whatever. The horrendous visage of the biggest demon you've ever seen crumbles before you. After you pump your rockets into his exposed brain, the monster shrivels up and dies, its thrashing limbs devastating untold miles of hell's surface. You've done it. The invasion is over. Earth is safe. Hell is a wreck. You wonder where bad folks will go when they die. Now, wiping the sweat from your forehead, you begin the long trek back home. Rebuilding Earth ought to be a lot more fun than ruining it was. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end. What is this? Heavy weapon dude. Yep, killed him many times. Imp, killed him many times. Oh, this is embarrassing. I thought it would take me a few tries to get that, but it actually took me 1 try. So, Baron of Hell. Oh, that's who that is. Arachnotron. I hated Arachnotrons. Pain Elemental is the worst. Revenant's okay. Pretty okay enemy. I'm okay with them. The Mancubus? Yeah, not bad. He just shoots a lot of rockets. Archvile. I hate him. I hate him so much. He can go die. The Spider Mastermind. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. These guys, hate them. I hate cyber demons. Cyber demons are the worst. And then besides that, us. Oh, that's what we look like when we die every time. Alright. Very cool. So, that's Doom. So let me just give you a little rundown because I probably won't end up uploading them because, I mean, I was frustrated beyond belief. So, here's a rundown. First time I went through that level, the final boss, I spent a good 11 minutes. That's how long I recorded for, just dying over and over again. I figured out immediately that you had to go up to get to that switch. So it took me about 2 minutes to figure out where the switch was. However, I knew you had to go up. I was just fighting people because I thought it was spawning people and I thought I had to fight them. However, after a while, I ended up just getting up to the top, and then I hit the button and I saw that that thing went up. So after about 2 minutes of that, I went straight to my idea of bringing down that. So you raise that platform. I brought the platform back down. I got onto the platform, rode it all the way up to the top, and I saw that there was items nearby. So I walked back and I jumped across to that little platform in order to get the items over there in front of the big demon who's shooting spawn things. There was a berserk over there, so my first idea was that you had to just punch that little face until you punched it until you died, or until it died. So I did that for about 3 attempts. I just kept trying to blow it up, and I also thought you had to bait, because it was spawning so many monsters, I thought you had to bait their attacks towards the wall too, and that would help destroy it. Those 3 attempts did not work, and I got very frustrated doing that, and I said, okay, that's obviously not it. So then the next time I went in, I recorded another, that took about 11 minutes. I recorded another 11 minutes of me standing at the top of the platform trying to shoot at the hole, because I saw those monsters were coming at the hole, and if you press tab on the map, it like shows you there's a path back, like behind his head, behind the giant figure of him, there's a path behind it. I spent about 11 minutes trying to figure out how to get it into the hole. And then at the end of that episode, I was like, do you have to like ride this up and make it into that hole every single time you go up? And so I watched a video because I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to waste another 10 minutes of recording trying to do that. And yes, you had to make it into that hole every time. However, it turned out it was only 3 times. 3 rockets, that was all you needed to do. However, when I watched the older versions of Doom, the original ones before this, the Doom 2 when it first came out, and it had its little like... Yeah, I just played the Doom 2 when it first came out. I watched a video of it. It looked very old, like a really old version of Doom. It wasn't optimized, wasn't running good, but yeah, it does not spawn. Like this one, the one that I was playing, it spawns enemies way faster than the old one. Like I'm talking like I was getting hammered with enemies in this. But yeah, that was my attempts. I can't believe I made it through so quickly on this one. I mean, once you understand that it is shooting through there, and once I told myself like it had to be that hole, that's the only option, and then I watched it online and it was that hole, it was like way easy. It takes like 2 seconds. But yeah, no, that was ridiculous. That was absurd. That was extremely frustrating. Kudos to them. I should have just tried it without watching the video when I found out it was the hole, and I was like, you probably have to shoot it through there, but I was just in disbelief that I thought you had to shoot like 25 shots, and I was like, if I have to go up this thing 25 times and make 25 rockets through there, because like, you know, like the demon, the big one with the big enemy with the rockets, he takes like 70 rockets. That's exaggerated, but he takes tons of rockets. So I was like, if this boss takes like a bunch of rockets, I'm never going to be able to do it. But turned out it was only 3. So, oh well, that's Doom 2. I don't know how to rate it. I'm getting kind of, yeah, it was like kind of super repetitive. I love the levels, but you know, you get kind of tired of the style, I think. Hopefully Doom 3, I heard Doom 3 is pretty repetitive. I'll still play through it. I'm not going to play through this expansion, but we'll see if Doom 3 is. I'm going to play through the expansion right now on my own for Doom 2. It's only 8 episodes, I think, but we'll see. Doom 3 might be as repetitive, but it is a newer one, and I think you can control your aim. You're not just aiming left and right, so super excited.